skip to this timestamp if you just want to go straight to the rules. Pokemon is a very popular children's video game franchise that was first released back in 1996 by the company Nintendo. In the next 2 decades, more games were released due to its popularity and marketability. Unfortunately, many of the fans who grew up with the franchise are finding that the games, including the new ones, too easy and boring. The reason for that is because Nintendo game devs refuse to make games for their adult demographic and insist on making these games for kids only. And because the games are for kids, newer games reflect that mentality to the point that the stories became predictable, gameplay repetitive, and the graphics lazy.
Oh, Pokemon, this is your opening cutscenes. These are your opening cutscenes.
But despite all that, the adult players are finding ways to make the games more interesting and worth playing again, through either modded randomizers.
Oh my god, the starters! There's just a whole Steelix all walking through it!
Or Nuzlocks.
If you could proc Quick Claw and then have the flint.
What did I say, Brayden? What did I say?
Unfortunately for me, I don't know how to work with mods, so I settled on playing a Nuzlocke version of Pokemon Shining Pearl. Mostly because that particular game still shares the same game mechanics as the original game that Nuzlocks were designed for. Unlike new games where it doesn't have that same mechanic anymore and Nuzlocks are now harder to play. Now, a little bit about myself. I'm not a Pokemon player. Unfortunately, growing up, my parents were too poor to afford any of the games in the game systems, so it wasn't until I started making my own money that I've actually started playing the games myself. So my first time playing a Pokemon game happened in 2016 when the mobile game Pokemon Go was released. Then I got myself a Switch in 2018 and played Let's Go Pikachu. Then in 2019, I got Pokemon Shield just so that I can play with my sister and other friends. Then came 2023, and inspired by other Pokemon Nuzlocke videos on YouTube, I decided to make an attempt, but on the rebooted Pokemon Pearl, a game I never played before because past me thought it would be funny, and I regret that decision even now. So for my particular Nuzlocke, these are the rules that I placed on myself. Rule number 1, 1 catch per route/area, with the exception for gifted Pokemon for random NPCs. Rule number 2, nickname every single catch. Rule number 3, when a Pokemon faints, I can't use them again. Rule number 4, healing and X items are okay to use during battles. Rule number 5, battle style is switch. Rule number 6, no catching duplicate Pokemon. Rule number 7, overleveling is fine, but I do try not to be too overleveled for the gyms. Now compared to professional level Nuzlocks, this is pretty easy. Most challenges says you can't use items and no overleveling at all, but the reason I'm setting my rules to be so easy is because there are gyms who share the same level for some reason, and I am still new to Pokemon, so I don't fully understand type advantages or disadvantages in this game. I know water can beat fire and ground, electricity can beat water, those basic stuff. But when Pokemon became dual typings, like water and ground, or electric and poison, or psychic rock, or anything like that, I was completely lost on what the strengths and weaknesses are. So much so that I have to rely on the internet. These several charts that I look up online were so confusing, like I could not understand them. But my little brain couldn't handle all that information. So a quick thank you to Small Animations for this very simplified graph here, halfway into my Nuzlocke. But better late than never, so thank you Small for this simple graph. If anybody else needs it, here it is. And those are the rules of my Nuzlocke, and here's what happened in the game. I opened up the game to meet Professor Rowan for the first time, pick out my character, name myself, then name my rival. Oh, I can either pick from here, or I could choose his name. Oh, what's his name? I'll name him after the person who just texted me. It's Melody. Your name is going to... be Mel. After that, I watched the news, picked up a weird looking flute that I ended up never using, said goodbye to my mom, and left to go on my adventure, after picking up my friend/rival first. Ah! Hi! We then walked to Verity Lake to see Professor Rowan and his assistant Lucas sightseeing before they left their stuff behind. Curious about what was in the suitcase, My rival and I checked it out, only to get attacked by a flock of pigeons, forcing us to take a Pokemon from the suitcase to fight. I picked Piplup, who I later named Aslan, and the professor let me keep him. The next day, I get lost in the small town, but managed to bump my way towards Lucas, who brought me to the lab to hear more about Pokemon before being given a Pokédex. Then Lucas gave me a small tour of what a Pokemon Center and store looked like, and then left me to go say bye to my mother again before teaching me how to catch a Pokemon. But before he can teach me how to catch a Pokemon, I went and taught myself. Yay, I caught a Bidoof! Fudge, what am I gonna name it? I named my Bidoof Fudge, and while catching up to Lucas, I caught my third Pokemon, Boot the Starly, and then I accidentally ran into this kid. Nope. Oh, that was quick! I get to Jubilife and run into Lucas again, who criticizes the number of Pokemon I have. I forgot to tell him this was a Nuzlock. After giving something to my rival from his mother, I proceeded to get stuck in the city for the next 20 minutes trying to figure out how to leave. Again, I've never played this game before. Eventually, I did what the game demands I do, and left the city, only to run into my rival again to fight. Am I gonna die at the first rival fight? I really hope not. Thankfully, my run didn't end there, so after Aslan cleaned up after Boot, my rival ran off into the next town, and I slowly followed after him, catching Beauty the Abra along the way. Unfortunately, the gym leader wasn't home, and I was forced to go find him. While looking, I caught Roxy the Geodude and Tuna the Zubat. But I neglected to grind and just went straight to the gym after finding the leader. Oh my gosh! Holy crap! So attempt number 2. Everything played out the same as the first game, but with these small changes. I changed my rival's name, Piplup's name is Aslan Jr., Vito's name is Feud Jr., I misspelled Fudge. Starly is Boots Jr., I also misspelled Boot. I made it to Jubilife without losing any Pokemon, I grinded my Pokemon until they were almost level 10, I beat my rival without losing any Pokemon, caught an Abra and named it Sleepy, caught a Geodude and named it Tough, killed an Onix, I meant to catch it. I grinded until my Pokemon were level 16, took out all the gym leaders, evolved Aslan Jr. and Boots Jr., and defeated the first gym. Yes! And not one Pokemon dead. Heck yeah! After that victory, I attempted to catch a Machop. Dang it! I have a minor criticism for this game. The gym leaders in the game all are about 10 levels higher than the trainers before and after beating them. So catching a Pokemon in the way Lucas taught me was challenging, but my Pokemon are twice the level of my catch and their weakest moveset still kills them. On top of that, grinding also takes forever because of how low level they all are compared to the gym leaders, which give me very little experience points. But if I go to a higher level area, my Pokemon is now at risk of dying. This is annoying. I went back to Jubilife and found Professor Rowan and Lucas being harassed by a group of bad guys named Team Galactic. I partnered with Lucas to get rid of the few grunts there, and as thanks, Lucas told me about evolution. A little late for that information. Then they leave and this girl comes up to talk to me and gives me stickers. Cute! While making my way into the next town, I catch a Bewdoo named Lord and a Zubat named Pup. Then I come across this little girl whose father was taken by Team Galactic, and she asks me, a random stranger, to save him. Lucky for her, I'm a kind-hearted soul, and I attempt to enter the building, but then get locked out. Not sure what to do, I ask around the small town to figure out my next move, and this couple each give me a Pokemon, Jirachi and Mew, aka John and Pinky. I find the grunts with the key to the locked building, beat them up for it, and the old man they were harassing gave me some honey to use to catch more Pokemon with. I'll come back to that tree later. I run over to the work building to beat up the grunts there and evolve Feud Jr. and Sleepy, then took on Commander Mars. No! Dang it. Okay, it didn't take anything. After defeating Mars, she runs off and the little girl reunites with her father. Her father then mentions that there is a balloon Pokemon that would appear sometimes, and lucky for me, I happened to be filming near the weekend, so I only had to wait a day for the balloon Pokemon to show up.
The next day.
I caught a Buizel named Sammy and a Cherubi named Red, then come back to catch the balloon Pokemon. Drifloon. Oh. I named him Pain for being a pain in the butt and continued on with the game. I entered Eterna Forest where I meet Cheryl, who helped me go through the forest while healing my Pokemon along the way. Unfortunately, she couldn't heal everyone. No, 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 no! Once Cheryl leaves, I catch a Bunnery named Sypha to replace Feud Jr. I then entered Eterna City, where I saw the bike manager was missing, met Cynthia for the first time, and I got a rare candy for meeting 37 Pokemon. Cool! I grinded for about an hour, then cleared out the grass gym using only Boots Jr. The confidence in myself and my team are really high at this point in the game. I then run over to a Galactic building to beat up some more grunts, including Commander Jupiter, and freed the kidnapped bike store owner, who was grateful enough to give me a bike for free. Now, normally that would be cool, except I have movement problems in the game, so running is hard enough, so I very rarely use the bike throughout the game. Yes, it's because I'm using a cheap capture card, but that's all I can afford. After that, I was forced to go visit this old man for an explorer kit. Ah! 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 I'm being chased! I'm being chased! Get this area. Ah! Ah! What? Okay, I'm just gonna leave. Yes. Next, I run into Lucas, who gives me a V-Seeker that helped me keep up with my finances. Several hours later in the game, cause I didn't know how to use it when I first got it. Why did I think that playing a challenge run on a game I never played before was a good idea? Moving on, I caught a Ponyta named Dodge and a Chingaling named Belle. Then I run into the Galactic leader, who just talked at me before leaving. Okay. At Hearthrealm City, I check out the beauty contest building, only to waste my time inside before being told that I didn't need to do it. I then run into my rival again, beat him up, got lost in the city, caught a matchup named Prince, then attempted to fish. Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. So I tried to catch a Chansey instead. No! Why am I so bad at this children's game? While making my way to Silason Town, however the heck you pronounce that, Lord evolved and I made the mistake of entering the milk shop. Thankfully, I didn't lose anybody and I could just move on to Veilstone City, where I visit the clothing shop, but not buy anything because I was broke. Before entering the fighting gym, I run into Lucas, who awkwardly wishes me luck before running off. After struggling with the puzzle, I took on the gym leader. Critical, come on, no! Oh, okay. Oh, right, because you used your turn. Okay. Alright, Boots is safe. Once I left the gym, Lucas asked me to help him get his Pokédex back from Team Galactic, and I do, losing Sleepy in the process. Dang it. Then Boots Jr. evolved, and we got Lucas's Pokédex back. You owe me big time. Then I caught a Cricketune named Kate and a giraffe thing named Connor, and I attempted to fish again. Still unsuccessful. I grinded for a while, evolving Red, Tough, and Pup, then entered the water gym. I struggled with the puzzle here just as much as the fighting gym, but I was able to get through it without incident. Just barely held high. No! Ah! No! That's not fair! What the heck? Oh no. Am I gonna fail at this? Okay, I might actually be able to make it out. Just dang Gyarados. Oh no. Dang it. No! Froze! No! Oh no! is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. No, no, he goes first. Dang it. I have Prince and John left. No, this might be a dead run. No, I'm dead. All I have is John left. John's not. No! I highly doubt John's gonna be able to live long enough. This is not good, not good. I only have John left! And I mean, I won, but at what cost? Thankfully, John was able to finish the fight, but I thought about starting the game over. I have no other grass-type Pokemon to catch that I was aware of, and I didn't think it was possible to beat the game without my starter. But I've already spent several hours getting to this point, and thanks to John, I didn't wipe out, so starting over didn't feel worth it. So I put together a new team and attempted to cover a bunch of trees in honey and fish for a new one. No success. I made it to Pastoria City where I wasted time chasing a galactic grunt and beating up my rival. I then run into Cynthia again, who gave me some medicine for a group of side ducks blocking the path in another town. And once I delivered the medicine for her and the ducks waddled away, she came to me and asked me to deliver a charm to her grandmother in another town. Unfortunately, the area I needed to go through was covered in a thick fog, and I never picked up a certain move to clear it. I tried going through it anyway, and I ended up regretting that decision. Please, no! Dang it! Should have just traded him out. Dang it! After that fight, Sammy evolved, and I left the area to find another Pokemon to replace Pup, and I ended up catching two new Pokemon, a Metadite named Joey and a Ghastly named Roxy. Then I caught a Combee named Buzz, only to find out later that this bug can't evolve, and all he can do is make honey for me to sell. Yeah, this Pokemon sucks. After that, I find the Defog move, and I use it to clear the fog and make my way towards Celestic Town, where I run into Cynthia's grandmother and a galactic grunt. I beat up the grunt blocking the door to the ruins, and inside I see the late guardian Wallart, and Cynthia's grandma gives me the TM Surf. Yay, now I can swim! I leave the ruins and run into the galactic leader Cyrus, who just talks at me about ending the world or something, then leaves again. I grinded for the next several hours and evolved Dodge, Pain, and Roxy for the next gym, the Ghost Gym. Thankfully, going through the puzzle was super easy, and I made it to the gym leader with no issues. Oh no. Poisoned and confused. Oh no. Okay. Heck yeah! And just to make things easier, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch to Sammy. Oh no, please don't die. No, 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 no! Dang it! Oh, don't celebrate too early. Don't celebrate too early. Come on. As in, you're not helping. Gosh darn it. Yeah. Why am I not surprised? That's what I get for celebrating early. I win! After beating the gym, Cynthia was outside waiting for me. She asked me about my time at the ruins and makes a comment about the Galactic team hoarding Pokemon. I guess they didn't get the memo that this was a Nuzlock and hoarding a bunch of Pokemon is a no-no. Anyway, I reorganized my team, did several more hours of grinding, more failed fishing. Oh! I caught something! A Finnean named Poppy. Cool. Now I'll fight my rival again. I win. Some more grinding and TM shopping later, I took on the Steel-type gym. John cleared out the gym trainers in the way, and for the gym leader himself... Oh no. I had a feeling I was gonna regret it. Yep, that was a really bad loss. Anyway, I leave the gym, ignore my rival, then venture into a cave under the bridge at 206 for a very specific Pokemon. Oh no. Ah! It's Gibble! That was quick. After a few minutes of struggling, I catch Gibble and named him Ash, and on the way back to the library, Ash evolved, and my confidence in possibly beating the game skyrockets. I have decided then and there that Ash was my endgame Pokemon, and I am so happy to have him on my team. At the library, the game's story continues as Professor Rowan talks about Pokemon evolutions, and he theorizes that the secret to evolutions is at the 3 lakes, and he asks myself, my rival, and my assistant to go investigate. But before we can get started, a very powerful bomb went off at one of the lakes, and my rival runs off to check it out. I slowly follow him, catching a Tentacool named Grant along the way. At Lake Valor, the lake is drained of water, and a school of Magikarp is flopping around the place. Wish the game would have given me one. I enter the cavern there and fight Galactic Commander Saturn. After defeating him, I run over to Lake Verity, where Rowan and Lucas were being harassed by Commander Mars and her grunts. After I defeat them, they run off after mentioning that they caught the Pokemon Guardians at the lakes. Professor Rowan is now worried, and he asks me to check up on my rival at Lake Acuity. I head up north, evolve Grant, and stop to listen to the town music. Okay. Alright, listening to the music, and it's like, oh, that's... okay, the music kind of starts off creepy, and then it just kind of fine. Unable to go to the lake, I prepped my team for the ice gym by grinding and giving Ash Flamethrower, since I didn't have a fire Pokemon anymore and needed someone to have a fire move. Insert foreshadowing here. In the ice gym, I struggled hard with the puzzle for a very, very long time. Then I finally get to the gym leader. Oh no, oh no, no. Ah! Nope. I'm so nervous. I do not want to lose Ash. Ah, so close! Ah. The berry's not going to do very much. No! Oh, man. I had a bad feeling sending Ash out there was a mistake. Dang it. I'm not too bothered about losing Connor because I have so many other psychic Pokemon to replace him with. But Ash! I had no idea the dragons were weak to ice. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why? Why? Pokemon is confusing. Well, there goes my hopes and dreams of ever beating the game. After that disappointment, I run over to Lake Acuity, where Commander Jupiter is harassing my rival, but because she already got what she wanted, she leaves and my rival apologizes to me for messing up before running off himself. I catch a Sneasel named Zhao and a Snover named Kiki before flying to Veilstone City to pick up the Galactic storage room key that had dropped earlier, then enter the storage room. I sneaked around inside, taking out any grunts in my way, until I find the key to their HQ. Inside their headquarters, I was lucky to find the correct route right off the bat, and after taking out all the grunts in my way, I made it to Cyrus's office. I defeat him, and he hands me a Master Ball and tells me where the Lake Guardian Pokemon are being held. Then leaves. I went to release the Lake Guardians, but Commander Saturn stood in the way. So I beat his butt and released the Lake Guardians. I quickly left their HQ to follow the leader, but before I do, I went to Iron Island to see if I can catch any Pokemon there. I then quickly changed my mind and went back to the snowy area to catch a Noctowl and named it Malleus. At this point of the game, I've lost a total of 12 Pokemon. Dang it. Correction, 13 Pokemon. At this point in the game, my confidence in myself and my team was really low. I don't have the right Pokemon with the right moves, and there's just no way that I have a chance in beating Gym 8, much less the Elite Four, and even less so the Champion. And at this point, I felt I should have given up earlier, but if I give up now, then I would have wasted many hours already, and I don't want to start a new game and take another 3 months to record. Yes, I have been recording for 3 months. And I really do not want to start all over, so let's just see how far into the game I can get. I struggled to climb Mount Cornet due to there being a lot of different paths to take and the map being very unreliable, so after getting lost for over an hour, I give up and went back to Hearthfrom City and catch some more Pokemon in some of the areas there I missed earlier. I caught a Wooper named Cindy and a Pichu named Allie. I then start grinding up my new team, involving Kiki and Cindy, then this happened. No. Please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't. No! Well, so much for having an electric Pokemon. Moving on, I returned to Mount Cornet and found my way up the mountain, taking out all the grunts in my way, then witnessed Cyrus summoning Palkia. My rival then makes his appearance to help take down Mars and Jupiter, then he leaves me to take on Cyrus by myself. Thanks, buddy. Right when Cyrus was about to achieve his dream, the Light Guardians show up, destroy the red chain to stop him, and thanked me for rescuing them. Pissed, Cyrus battles me, and yeah, Smackdown should work. Let's see. Oh, no. I seriously need to stop underestimating Gyarados in these fights. I finish up the fight, Cyrus leaves, and Professor Rowan and Lucas show up to watch me catch Palkia. Needing a ground/rock type Pokemon for the next gym, I visit the underground and catch a Rhyhorn named Sad. This was an accidental foreshadowing for later. After that, I run over to Sunyshore City where I meet Flint, who tells me that the next gym leader is bored and is in need of a good Pokemon fight. And Flint believes that I'm the person to cheer him up. Whatever you say, my man. I made my way up to the gym, but Flint beats me there and tells me the gym leader is not in and I need to go find him. Well, this feels familiar. It didn't take me long, and once the gym leader went back, I ran into Flint again, who wished me luck. And then I left to go grinding again. I knew the Pokemon I have weren't the best, and with my limited knowledge on Pokemon weaknesses, I thought I'll be entering the gym with only Sad being immune to electricity. It wasn't until several hours later that I find out that Cindy was also immune to electricity, and when I did, I was thrilled, but again, never played the game before. Then I remembered Iron Island and went over there to hopefully catch another ground type and grind up my Pokemon another 10 levels. While there, Sad evolves and I run into this guy named Riley who said there were dangerous Pokemon and he joined me to fight them and healed my Pokemon after each fight. So I spent over 5 hours with this guy, running around in circles, taking down nearly every single ground type and bat Pokemon in that cave. Unfortunately, there were other trainers there, and I had a massive oopsie fighting one of them. At the end of the 5 hours, Poppy evolved and we beat the grunts hanging out at the exit, and then Riley gave me an egg. I then leave the island and made my way back to the electric gym. Unfortunately, I forgot I couldn't access my box while at the gym, and it was too late to take the egg off my team. Thankfully, it ended up not mattering at all, since I beat this gym leader without losing anybody thanks to Kiki and Cindy. Something I haven't achieved in a long time in this run. After defeating the electric gym, I meet with this girl who gave me the move Waterfall, and I swam my way towards the Elite Four building. Along the way, I catch a Pelpier named Sora, hatched a Riolu named Riku, and caught a Steelix named Brat. After reaching the Elite Four building, I left to go do some quick shopping and grinding up my team to the recommended level 70. I was given a recommendation to grind up my Pokemon to level 70 by a friend who has played the game, and that is because once I start the Elite Four, I won't be able to grind anymore in between fights, because Cynthia's highest level Pokemon is level 66, and anything lower than a 70 shall wipe you out. So after several hours of grinding, this is the team I chose to go in with. Kiki for her grass and ice moves, Pain for his ghost moves, Malleus for his flying and fairy moves, John for their psychic and fighting moves, Joey for his fighting and psychic moves, and Cindy for her ground and water moves. Now I'm ready to enter the Elite Four. I'm stocked up, my team ready, my confidence is somewhat high, and I totally didn't forget that my rival wants another butt whooping. I wasn't planning on it, I knew you were coming. 1 fight down, 5 to go. After my last free healing, I entered the Elite Four fighting rings with the vow of never looking back. Fight number 1 is against Aaron, who is a bug-type Pokemon trainer. I opened with John against his Dustox, then switched to Joey for Heracross, then Malleus for Beautifly and Vespiquen, then Cindy for Drapion. During the fight, my Pokemon only took about 1 to 2 shots at Aaron's Pokemon, and I didn't need to worry about healing during the fight, which worried me a little bit. Not in a, oh no, I'm gonna lose kind of thinking, just more of a, oh no, this game is way too easy. So from then on, I decided not to use any items during the fights. So no X items and no healing. I completely forgot about the holding items, but just ignore those. So no healing and no X items during the fights. Just so that when I do make a mistake, it's a big enough mistake that it will make the end game more interesting. Healing in between is perfectly fine though. So yeah, that's what I decided to do at the time, and I hope that I wouldn't regret it. With that decision made, I moved on to fight number 2, Bertha, the ground type trainer. I opened the fight with Kiki for Bertha's Quagsire, then switched to Cindy for Sudowoodo, back to Kiki for Whiscash, back to Cindy for Golem, then back to Kiki for Hippowdon. Second fight down, halfway there. Almost losing Cindy was scary since I still needed her for the next fight, but my new rule hasn't hurt me much yet, so this is a good thing. Fight number 3 is against Flint, the Fire-type Pokemon trainer, who I met before and who I'm the least worried about. I opened with Cindy for Flint's Rapidash, then switched to Joey for Lopunny, Cindy for Steelix, back to Joey for Drifloon, where I struggled for a bit, before Flint used Baton Pass to bring out Infernape. Big mistake, Flint. After Joey took down Infernape, I switched to Malleus for Drifloon to clean up the fight. The last Elite Four member fight was Lucian, the Psychic-type Pokemon trainer. I opened with Pain to go against Mr. Mime, then switched to Cindy for Giraffe Ridge and Medicham. Oh, no! After losing Cindy, I brought Pain back to finish off Medicham and kept him for Alakazam and Bronzong, ending the Elite fight with only 1 casualty. Thankfully, my plan for Cynthia didn't include Cindy, so losing her wasn't that big of a loss, but it would be bad if I start losing other Pokemon and not have Cindy for backup. But at the time, I wasn't too worried. For Cynthia, I opened the fight with Malleus to go against Cynthia's Spiritomb, then switched to Kiki for Melodic, but then Cynthia switched to Lucario. Well, there goes my ace. I brought out Joey and took down Lucario and kept him for Roserade. Please don't, no, please survive, dang it. I then brought out John, who finished off Roserade, and kept him for Gastrodon and Melodic. Then Cynthia brought out her ace and last Pokemon. Yeah, I didn't think so, yeah. Unlucky star! Ah, I should have used Hypno, dang it. No, dang it, I should have done. Oh, I did! Oh, yes! Oh my gosh! I won. I had very little faith in myself that I would make it in Cynthia. Even though I made the rules easy, I still struggled with some of the fights. Losing my starter, nearly getting wiped out, not having the right Pokemon ready or alive due to my mistakes, and nearly giving up several times while I'm sitting there grinding for hours on end just to make sure my Pokemon has a chance to survive. But I'm glad I kept going. kept learning and kept believing that I could at least make it to the first elite fight. But making it to the end and becoming champion after playing the game for 69 total hours, it felt amazing. It was a really rewarding feeling. It was amazing. And well, I guess the next question is would I be playing the game again but on harder rules? No, absolutely not.